Se preparó, se puso linda, su amiga llamaba. Salió de rumba, nada le importó, porque su novio ella le engañó.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to be doing a video that I told you guys to do for me, which is send me your guys' client horror stories, and I'm just gonna read them, react to them, and yeah, pretty much that's what we're gonna do today. I had to leave this, so I don't know if she wanted me to mention her name. She wants to go ahead and remain anonymous, so I got you, girl. It says, and this may be super long, so grab some snacks and some tea because here we go. I'm ready. Okay. Woo. Okay. So it says, and this may be super long, so grab some snacks and some tea and let's get started. Okay, here we go. So since I've started taking clients, I've had this one client who would come to me between every other day, every week, to get a scalp treatment from me. Now, this client is a married man with kids who's probably around 40 to 50-ish years old. Okay, I know the type. And I do not exaggerate anything that I'm about to say whatsoever. The very first time I had him in my chair and giving him the service, he seemed really nice at first and he tipped me and everything like it was fine. Eventually, the more he came, the more I started having strange feelings. He would tell me every 10 minutes or so about how good I am at scalp treatments. I already feel like I have an idea of where this is gonna go just because I've dealt with these kinds of male clients before in the past, so I kind of have an idea where this is going, but we're gonna keep going. Or whenever he comes in for an appointment, and mind you, he usually just walks in since we take walk-ins. There were times where I could hear him from across the room shouting at guest services, "Where is she?" And that's in all caps. But in the moment, I basically brushed it off since nothing too crazy happened between us two. ... Yet. But one time, not only did I give him another scalp treatment, but I also gave him a pedicure. Mind you, he was my very first pedicure as a client. Okay, so when we were in beauty school, I'm gonna just put this out there. They gave me a lot of pedicures to do, and they were not very fun. So, unless you're into nails, this is, yeah. And I used to get a bunch of old ladies and we would do pedicures on them. I don't know. Fun little side note. Anyways. And while I was in the middle of doing his feet, he says out of the blue, without even telling him about my relationship status, "Your boyfriend is very lucky. I have a fiance," and immediately I started feeling a bit uncomfortable. And at that moment, I told him that I was actually engaged to my fiance, who is in the army right now. How cute. Again, I brushed it off since I had thoughts like, hey, maybe he's just trying to be nice or make conversation and whatnot. He's already seeming sketchy to me. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little side note. I always get weird. I don't know why. Nothing's ever happened to me. I've never had a traumatic past with a guy or anything, like an older man or anything. But older guys like this just make me nervous and anxious for some reason. I'm always like, ugh, don't talk to me. Again, I brushed it off since I had thoughts like, hey, maybe he's just trying to be nice or make conversation and whatnot, and soon enough, I was wrong. I've expressed my feelings and stories to some of the other girls, and one girl actually has had him in the past for scalp treatments. From what she had told me, he turned out to be very creepy towards her and tried to flirt with her and say stuff like, "You're so pretty and you remind me of a princess back from my country." Ew. Like, what in the world? And not just that, but she has also gotten Instagram messages from him, basically just hitting her up, trying to talk to her instead of booking with her or asking hair-related questions. Oh, somebody's trying to wipe her up. He looks like he's trying to look for a girlfriend or something. Turns out the school already had files on him, but I don't remember how that whole thing resolved or anything. That's so crazy. So when I was in beauty school, we actually did, that's a real thing. Like if we had a client that was just always complaining all the time, that was just being rude to us, or creepy clients or clients that said stuff that was inappropriate or anything, we would actually like write their names. We would take it to the directors, we would write their names, and they would keep it on files so that next time, one, we wouldn't take them, or, you know, we would have to tell them like we have to refuse service or whatever. So that's crazy. Anyway, whenever he comes in, and if I'm busy or I'm not on the floor and in the classroom, I'm on the floor 3 times a week and in the classroom 2 days right now, he would get very pissed off and would not book his appointments with anyone else other than me, and he would straight up leave. Oh my gosh. There were also times where if he needed a service done that bad and if I'm not available, someone else would take him anyway, except he would either not talk to the girl at all or he would not tip her one bit like he would always do with me. That's so creepy. That's weird because I feel like guys do that sometimes. Guys kind of get like this little obsession or like they get, I don't know, they act weird. I have 2 more occasions to share, then I should be done for now, lol. A few weeks ago, back in late January, I was leaving school early to go fly out and visit my fiance in the army. I packed up all my things and went out from the back of the school to clock out, and I didn't see him or hear him come in or anything at all, but he came in as I was leaving, saw me, and still tried booking an appointment with me and literally told guest services, "There she is, stop her." She put that in all caps, so I had to yell a little. What in the world? I would be like scared out of my mind. That time he did end up going to another girl who actually found that there was some sort of fungus in his scalp and suggested that in the most professional way possible that he may have to look into going to a dermatologist of some sort, or however she put it. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god, that's so crazy. I don't mean ill because, you know, I'm a professional. I've seen a lot of things on people's scalps and stuff, but like, what in the world? Oh my gosh. Okay. This time he wasn't even mad and took it lightly. He ended up tipping her, and at that point I thought that she may have saved my life and that maybe he won't come back as much anymore. Hopefully not, girl, because, you know, he needs to get that checked out and not come to his school. Because, you know, I feel bad for saying that, but sometimes in schools, students aren't very as careful as a professional already is, you know, just because they don't really, they're in school, you know, they're still learning, so sometimes you could spread that around and that would be bad. But anyways, but then a few days ago I was working on a balayage on a different client and noticed the guy walking in and looked right at me as he walked to guest services, so he knew I was busy with another client. My station is always right by the door across from where guest services is. He still tried scheduling me anyway, but they told him I was booked, so he again got booked with a different girl. He's really trying you right now. Like, he's really trying to get his service done with you. Oh my goodness. While I was doing this balayage, this girl comes up to me and asks, "Did you do that scalp treatment? My client says you're really good and he thought I should ask you how you did it." First of all, only our teachers were supposed to help out students, so I wasn't about to give her a whole lesson considering scalp treatments aren't typically hard to do. I told her in a brief way on how I did it and she said okay and walked away. Of course he was pissed off at her the entire time she had him, and he didn't tip her either. Okay, but he's so rude. Like, I get you want to be with her and like you want her to do your hair, but like at least tip the other girls. Oh my god, rude. To this day, I've had some nightmares about him where he would either be in my chair and won't stop telling me he's single, or he would follow me to class and watch. Luckily, the last few times he was there, I wasn't available for him, but if I ever have him next time, I will notify guest services again about it. At this point, the whole school knows about the situation, and I know I should have dealt with it sooner, but I guess I didn't know how to without intentionally refusing his service and things like that. There may be a part 2 or 3 to the story, I don't know yet, but that's it for now. Thank you so much for the time, and I hope you have a great day. Oh, thank you so much for sharing your story, first of all. And let's like talk about this. Oh my gosh, guys. As you guys know from my story times, I have dealt with a lot of creepy guys kind of working in franchise, and yeah, I totally get it. Like, I understand it's really hard to refuse service. Not only that, because some people, like, I'm just gonna say it, we live in a world where people think we are being extra or we're over exaggerating or being dramatic or like whatever, but no, like this stuff actually happens. Like, you feel really uncomfortable with a certain situation and you just don't know how to like tell them. Like, you know, personally, I mean, I've never had this in school. I've had it when I actually was like on the floor doing like working with my license. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I feel like you really can do is just avoid him and just keep telling them like, do not put him with me. I do not like him. And you know, and if it gets so bad, I would definitely tell, like, I don't know what they call it at the school you're in, but like the director or the instructor or whoever, you know, that you feel uncomfortable and, you know, whatever. Yeah, definitely. But I totally understand like not really wanting to bring light to it because you didn't think it was like that serious. As you guys probably know, in my old story times, I always am like, it's like whatever. Like I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But of course, you know, stuff like this is a big deal. Girls should not have to feel uncomfortable, and we shouldn't have to avoid guys or like whatever. But the fact that he was like yelling across the room, like, stop her, there she goes, like, get her, like, I want her, I feel like that would be enough for like someone to be concerned a little bit, you know, about like maybe he's like has problems and we should not accept him anymore. Especially after, you know, you said he had like fungus on his scalp and everything. I feel like that's something a director should come and look at and investigate before she like lets anybody else handle him. Because yeah, like when you're in school, I feel like people are still learning, you know, so sometimes people can't really like identify that yet, and they just keep working on it, and then it could transfer from person to person, and then it could be really gross. But I mean, I guess if, you know, it's transferable. If not, you just be sharing the germs, and that's still gross, you know? So I totally get it. I think that's so crazy. Yes, if you have an update, girl, send me your updates. So we're back. I'm back. It's a different day, obviously. I look different. And I am going to be doing a little update that she gave me. She said this was a couple of days later. So I had just filmed it, and then she sent me this update the day after I filmed it. So I wanted to go ahead and put these two videos together so you can, so you guys have like the full story and everything. So we're gonna start with pretty much what she said. I swear it's a lot more shorter this time, but basically a few days after I submitted my story to you, this guy tried coming in 3 times in a row. Once when I was in the classroom, and he obviously knew that, but tried rescheduling me anyway. But on the same day, he scheduled for his mom, interesting, for a single process, and I knew deep down right away his mom really wasn't coming in. The next day came, and this so-called appointment was at 9:30. They were about 20 minutes late, and I was about to sign out up front for break. After I signed off, I turned around. He was standing right there staring at me and smiling at me. I feel like we're watching like a scary movie right now. I feel like this is the part in the scary movie where he like does something drastic, you know? You guys know what movie I'm talking about. I see way too many of these like scary, like killer psycho Hallmark people. I warned my teacher beforehand if he actually came in instead of his mom that she could maybe try talking to him or have him go to someone else, since he made me feel uncomfortable. And soon enough, I ran to my teacher right when I saw him, and she finally went up and told him we were all booked up for the day, and he left pissed. I'm like, this guy just doesn't like stop. Like, he's just trying really hard. Okay, the last day I was in the middle of doing a men's cut, he came in again and still proceeded to book with me, but then he was scheduled with somebody else. And it ended up going really well that time. That entire time, if I had to walk by him, my teacher or classmate had to walk beside me in case of anything happened. He hasn't actually been kicked out yet, considering the school already had files on him beforehand, but the school made it clear that he wasn't allowed to book with me anymore, and there's that. So that was pretty much the little update that she gave me on this story. Girl. And that's just so crazy to me. It's crazy to me too that the school hasn't just been like, okay, you just like can't be here. But I kind of get it, because he hasn't like crossed a line yet where he's like said anything, any like creepy thing, you know what I mean? Like I kind of get it. But still, like, that's so annoying that you have to always be like on the lookout and just like always be like watching your back just to make sure that this guy isn't like doing the most, you know. But girl, I would be scared even leaving the school that he'd be like out there waiting for me or something. Like, I don't know. I'm over here like being all paranoid for you. I really enjoyed like listening to your stories and everything like this. If you guys want to also be featured in a future video where I kind of tell you guys that client horror stories, then go ahead and leave me a DM on Instagram and I will read your story and do a video over it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love the way that you handled it. I think it was really, really great that, you know, the school kind of was paying more attention to it and they weren't doing too much. I love that they were actually paying attention to it, because a lot of the times like schools sometimes will just like ignore you and they just don't care, they like won't listen to you. So I like that they're actually like listening to you and just making sure that you feel safe and comfortable, especially, you know, like that's your school, you should feel safe to be there, you know. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you guys can always be updated whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.
Se preparó, se puso linda, su amiga llamó.